Direct from Switzerland, the Auto Channel presents exclusive press pass coverage of the Geneva Motor Show.
Well, we're on the main exhibition floor here in Geneva at the car show, and I'm here with two very special guests. These guys really, if things work well, these two fellas with me, Guy Negre and his son Cyril Negre. Guy is CEO of MDI, Motor Development International, and Cyril is head engineer. And if everything goes well, these two gentlemen will be the superstars, the rock and roll stars of the automotive industry. Because what they have is something that is the best in terms of environment and in terms of a source of fuel. Now, that's maybe not quite so correct because you still need some fuel to do it, some energy. But if you would, Cyril, tell us about what your vehicle is and what it does.
Well, our vehicle is a compressed air car. So we're using electricity or whatever kind of renewable energy to compress the air into a tank, and then we are using this air to drive a special piston engine we've developed to drive the car.
When did you first develop this idea? When did you start to do it?
In 1996, the first development of the air compressed.
And so it's just air, it's not hydrogen air or anything special, just air. Just air. Now, if I remember correctly, about 2 years ago, you signed an agreement with Tata Motors to help with development. How is that going on?
Well, yes, we've signed an agreement with Tata. What we've done, we've sold the technology. We licensed them the technology for India only, so they can use the air engine technology in any kind of application, but just for India. Then, in the rest of the world, we have developed a special concept. MDI has developed a special concept to produce our own car. And it's this concept we want to put on the rest of the world. Some small turnkey units to produce the car locally and sell it locally. That's very important also. It is as important as the car, because if we produce locally, we will take out a lot of logistics. And we will take out also costs of logistics, but overall emission of logistics. You know that today to produce a car, you are taking parts all over the world and you bring them to a central factory that then produce a lot of cars that you have to distribute. In our mind, we have to produce locally 80% of the car, and that takes out a lot of emissions due to transportation of finished cars, and it's a really good system to produce car ecologically also. So the car is important because it's a no-emission car, but the concept of production is also very, very important.
About when would you think that somebody might start producing this for real sale?
Well, we are going to deliver 10 of these AirPods to Air France in the end of May, and that's the first step. They're going to use it as beta test, and we are in the same time in parallel developing the production tooling system, and we think that in November or end of the year we will be able to start a small production by a press area and then a big production in the beginning of next year.
It seems to me that I remember hearing about an association that you have with a company in America, in Massachusetts maybe? Is that still happening?
Il parle de Shiva là.
The company in the United States is a person that has the license for one plant in the United States, one of these small plants, and he's a representative of MDI in the United States. So basically he has one plant for producing these both cars, and he represents our company in the United States.
Now, if I remember correctly, last spring, you were in New York and you won some awards with the vehicles. Is that correct? Were you actually demonstrating the vehicles on the road?
Not there. We've shown the car, but we have some car running in our factory, some prototype and some press area. This airport will start in August. So basically, we are showing something running, of course, yes.
Now, could you describe to us the vehicles that we're seeing here?
Yes, you have two different vehicles. You have the AirPod. AirPod is this one. It's a very small device. It is not a car for us. It is a transporter, just to transport people. It is very urban device with 3 places, 2 meters long. So it's a very simple device, very light. The weight is 220 kilos, and with one charge of compressed air, which is 175 liters at 350 bars, we can drive the car for quite 200 kilometers in town. Because it's very light and the wheels are very narrow, so less friction, and it's a good device. Then there is this one, This is the One Flower. One Flower is a basic car like the old Mary, you know, very simple. It's for 100 kilos. So due to this weight, more or less the range should be around 90 kilometer and a maximum speed of 90 kilometer per hour with one charge.
Now, these are fairly small vehicles. Do you see the technology being able to propel larger vehicles, buses perhaps?
Yes, we have the technology for buses, but later.
Yes, the technology can be scaled. You just have to integrate the tank into the vehicle. So if you take a bus, you can put bigger tank, bigger pressure. So it's scalable.
Okay, this is a live show.
Yeah.
What do you think is the hold-up now? Like, have you discussed this with any of the large car manufacturers?
Well, no. For the moment, the deal we've done with Tata Motors in India is an exception. Our production concept, we think, is one of the best to produce and sell some clean cars, because the reduction of the cost is very important. These cars, like all the non-polluting cars, have some constraint. Time to charge or range or this kind of thing. So we can't sell this kind of car very expensive. In our production concept, as we take out a lot of logistics, the production costs are very low. So we can sell, for example, this one 6,000 to 7,000 euro, and that one 3,500 euro. So it's very, very interesting price.
Now, you mentioned about the time to recharge.
Yes.
What is the compression time to fill the tongue?
Yes, there are different ways to compress the air. The first way is to plug the car on an electric plug, and the engine is reversible and it can compress its own air into the tank. So that takes more or less for this car 2 to 3 hours. There is another solution which for us is more interesting because it's very rapid. It is to use an air station. What is an air station? It's a big compressor fixed that fills some tanks, some fixed tanks, and then when the car arrives next to these tanks, we just have to transfer the air from the air station to the car, and that takes 2 minutes. So these cars basically are no-emission cars that can be filled in 2 minutes. That's an important thing.
And that would be at a service station, at a gasoline station.
Like a
that would
gasoline
also
station with compressed air, high-pressure tank.
Great. How is the public reaction to this when you show people the vehicles?
Les réactions du public, Cyril parle en anglais, c'est mieux, mais les gens sont étonnés. Comment on dit étonnement?
They are very surprised. Yeah, and but they are very interested. You know, on our website, within 4 months, more or less, we have had quite 20,000 requests for cars. So people are very interested, either in the price or in the ecology, but they are very interested.
Has anybody actually put down some deposits for the vehicles?
No, we don't ask deposit for the car. We will ask deposit for the car when the car will be in production. For the moment, they are declaring their intention to buy. So they are not constrained, it is not binding, there's nothing. They just say, I want to buy one car as soon as you will be ready.
And one final question, because some people might be interested in this. Is your company a public company? And
No, it's private.
Are there investments possible?
A private company. Yeah? Yes.
Investment are possible in the company, but it's a private company.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you very
terrific. A great idea, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thanks for watching the Auto Channel. For more coverage of the Geneva Motor Show and all other major auto shows, visit theautochannel.com, the internet's most complete and comprehensive automotive information resource.